diameter.
Принято.
Okay, inspecting the glove.
Хорошо, давайте выбрасывайте полотенце.
Okay, go ahead
И
and
мы
get
будем
some
вращать батарею,
towels.
открывать вам проход.
And then we'll be working on clearing the path for you. Okay.
Таким образом, чтобы...
Okay, I'm trying to turn around.
Вот так. Да, стопы бросаю. Хорошо, я прыгнул, выбросил. Да.
Okay.
Вот чуть-чуть. Вот так, встать.
I need to stand like this.
Полетел.
Okay, the towel is flying. Copy.
Сереж, стопротонные поручни
Sergey, should we go to the longitudinal handrails?
Антенну, мне же назад надо идти.
We need to go
Мы сейчас выставляем батарею в
position,
и вы переходите
over position the solar array.
и на вал 4.
You're going to go to wall 4.
На вал 4 это...
Wall 4, I need to go to plane 4 along the longitudinal handrails. Yes, that is correct.
Федор, и
вопрос. Мне надо...
Удобнее через выходное устройство.
It might be easier going through the EV letter.
А еще лучше через выходное устройство. Я по дороге еще один.
Okay, if I go by the EV letter, then
вот выходное устройство.
I can take a look at another one.
Мы
Okay.
готовы вращать батарею. Вы не
We're ready to rotate the solar array. Do you have any objections?
Вы не возражаете?
Мы только за.
We're all for it.
Тогда это самое.
Okay.
Я вам скажу, когда она станет нужной.
I'm going to let you know when the solar array is in the expected position. Okay.
Саш, тебе по тесту все понятно?
Sasha, is everything clear about the test?
Тебе по тесту все понятно?
Да, Сергеевич, приду первым пробником
Yes.
по металлическому кольцу вокруг иллюминатора вторым, по остеклению к этому металлическому кольцу.
First sampler is going to go along the ground seal and the other is on the glass surface. Okay, and when you're on Charlie, if you're able to take a photograph of what we requested, that would be really good. Okay, I remember. Okay.
Ой, слушай, Саш. Да. Я уже ошибся там рядом. Да. С этого 2 метра.
Already moved and you're next to it.
Друга нашего.
Can you give us the friend, the 2 soft handrails? Oh, the friend. Okay.
А тебе тоже проще, если по стреле будет. Да, я по стреле и пойду. Да, как раз меня нет.
Okay, then you can hand it to me at the time. Okay, the self handrail. Sergey, does the anchor stay?
Якорь давайте сегодня не будем переносить.
Let's not move the anchor today.
Ну давай посмотрим.
Okay, let's see time-wise.
Стрелы, все нормально. Батареи, да? Ну, батареи, стрелы, извините. К стреле привык уже, Саша.
Okay.
Ты меня разбаловал.
You're spoiling me.
Просто сам понимаешь, Федор, значит,
Well, you see, Fedor,
будем смотреть по времени,
we're going to see what time we have, but you need to understand that we will need to rotate the solar array back and forth again. Oh, I see.
И мы здесь можем потерять много времени.
And that could be a big time waste.
Да. Ладно.
Okay, we'll wait and see.
Так, ну мягкие поручни можно же поставить.
But we can install the soft handrails.
Надо ставить до того, как вы перейдете.
You will need to install them before you translate.
Ну, а хотя можно и вернуть.
Тогда я сейчас пойду поставлю.
Though we can actually go back.
Если у тебе все понятно по установке поручней,
If everything is clear about the handrail installation,
Это понятно. Надпись. Старые снять. Правильно?
давай ставим. Поручни ставим, Саша уходит на МИМ-2.
okay, you're installing the handrail and Sasha's going to MRM2.
Да. А я возвращаюсь, старые вешаю на ВУ.
Да, договорились.
Okay.
Снизу на... И пошел снизу на...
We're going to go from
Хорошо, договорились. Идем по этому плану.
here to Wow.
Spacewalkers Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mizurkin translating forward on the station's Zvezda module. They finished up their work at the aft end of the station, wiped off their gloves of any contamination in the area from Zvezda thruster fire, earlier thruster fire, none today, of course. In fact, the thrusters were disabled. And moving on to the final tasks of today's spacewalk. Yurchikhin is headed for antenna number 4 of the wall system to inspect its cover, tighten it down if it's needed. Mizurkin is headed for the Poisk module, where he's to take some surface samples at the EV hatch and photograph an experiment that was installed on the exterior of Poisk during last Friday's spacewalk. The planned task to relocate a foot restraint has been deleted from today's spacewalk by the Russian flight control team. It's anticipated that the gap spanner installation task will still be completed. Work site for that is on the port side of Zvezda.
Как не самый мандатный и высокий, из высоты во всем привет. Трепал на кудри ветер высоты, и целовали облака. Слегка на высоту такую, милая ты, уж не посмотришь высока, высока.
Russian flight control team providing some music to translate by as Yurchikhin and Mizurkin move back forward on the space station. And we're about 9.5 minutes now from when we expect we will once again get television pictures from the International Space Station, both from the helmet cameras for both spacewalkers as well as the facility cameras, if you will, the cameras on the space station's truss structure, which have been turned to look aft, and we'll see some of the work that the crew members are doing at the forward section of Zvezda.
Как оно, Саш? Песни настроение.
Wow.
Конечно.
Is it improving our mood? Do you think it will work? Let me reconnect here. That's easier for you.
Саш, что ты сказал?
Sasha, what were you saying?
Я сказал, отличная
I
песня.
just said this.
Спасибо большое.
So the song was great,
Ну,
and thank you very much.
сюрприз.
Well, little surprise.
Жить и строить
Oh,
помогать.
you see the songs help us.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Федор, не хочу приставать, но на всякий случай...
I don't want to bother you, but just in case, report on your location because you went in different directions. Right now, I'm next to Sasha. I'm about to go to plane 1 and to plane 2 from there using circular handrails. Right? Sasha, give me the second one too, okay? What did you say? Never mind. Okay. I'm next to window 8 on the circular handrail. Copy? Okay, I'm removing all those additions from Sasha. That's it, Sasha. Okay. Sofia Nikolaevich, are you translating? Yes, I started. Okay, then I'll go my way too. All right, copy. I'm on the parallel handrails of the small diameter. Copy. And I passed window 9. I have one tether in my hand. I'm always using one tether in my hand. So far, that's the option for me. Okay.
Both crew members report that they're back now on the forward end of the station. And we're about 5 minutes away from our anticipated return of television signal, so we can watch the final tasks of today's spacewalk.
Okay, where is the word there? I'm on the EVA ladder.
Принято, Саша.
Copy, Sasha.
Принято, Саша.
I passed 2414. This is the handrail. Copy. And I'm looking around. How to do it best.
I'm trying to look around. Yes, that's a good idea. Feathers are secured.
Один у тебя ставится.
One should be installed on 2422.
24-22. Да.
Circular handrails.
И основание центральное, на основании УРМД центральный поручень.
On the base of ORMD, central handrail.
Ага.
Copy.
Так, обстановка это у нас на нашем УРМД, на нужном?
Okay, now обстановка. Is it on our ORMD?
Нет, наш, наверное...
No, ours is further, I believe.
Так, 24.
2414.
Сейчас поручень.
I'm looking at this handrail.
Урм у нас дальше, правильно?
Urm is further down, right? Right.
Так.
And it's further and to the right.
Да.
Correct.
Так, батарея просто стараюсь аккуратно.
I'm just watching the solar array panel, trying to be very careful.
Федор, тебе повернуть ее? Давай я тебе поверну.
Do you want me to rotate it? No. No.
Я аккуратненько.
I'm being very careful.
В другую сторону ногами еще.
I will just move my legs to different positions, facing different directions. So I passed обстановка. Copy.
Ребят, было пропадание.
Скажи, пожалуйста, вот здесь, да, Сереж, есть старый фалс
Seriously, we have an old adjustable tether here.
Его надо поставить вот этот мягкий поручень.
And the gap spanner should be installed instead of that one.
Какой?
Which gap spanner?
Который между 24 и 22.
Between 24-22. Yes.
И основанием УРМД.
And the base of ORMD.
Так, вот это...
And this is the handrail between attachment plates. This semi-circle handrail. Do we need to install 24, 22, or 25 there?
24, 22.
22.
24, 22. Между панелями.
It can work. Between the DPP panels. Okay.
Не, сейчас, смотри.
Вот полукруглый поручень.
Speaking simultaneously.
Да,
Semi-circular handrail, yes.
от него, вот
Okay, I see some marking here. Hold on. I couldn't find the marking. It's closed with the behind the DPP now. And after the DPP panel, 24-22 starts.
From that conversation, it appears that Alexander Mazurkin has stopped along the way on his translation and is beginning to install those gap spanners on the port side of the Zvezda module. Those are being installed between the universal work platform on the port side of the station, from there to two different handrails in two different directions. One is going from the workstation to handrail 2525, the other to handrail 2422, as we've heard him talk about there in the conversation.
between the plates.
This is Mazurkin's helmet camera view. As you can see, clearly still in orbital nighttime. Station is now in orbit 260 miles above Western Australia.
Drop out. We were planning to remove the adjustable tether, the old one. But there is another one. The other one should be left in place. Okay, will do. 2422. Okay, and this one will be swapped right now. Okay, I can see it. Okay, it's next to antenna. And
this is the view from Fyodor Yurchikin's helmet camera.
Yes.
Is he still making his way in translation toward
dropouts?
Сейчас мы ее повернем.
We'll rotate it in a minute. Copy. Because it's behind my back.
Я все понимаю.
Just to be on the safe side. Yes, I understand.
a correction to information that we just gave you a moment ago.
Can you translate to the different side of Rende and install the second handrail while we are rotating the solar array? Okay.
EVA Officer Ernie Bell is
I was standing still.
confirming that the spacewalkers have
Don't forget to look at me.
adjusted their task list. What we're seeing here, Alexander Mazurkin's helmet camera view, as he works his way to the Poisk module,
How much time do I have?
where he's supposed to take surface samples of the EV hatch and perhaps photograph exposure experiment.
8 minutes.
Fyodor Yurchikin, in the meantime, and this is Yurchikin's helmet camera view, has taken over the gap spanner installation task that was originally scheduled for Mazurkin.
Okay.
Yurchikin on the port side of Zvezda, installing gap spanners in 2 different locations to help future spacewalkers translate more easily across that area. Yurchikin is also supposed to be headed for the wall antenna number 4 to inspect its cover. It's not clear at this point whether or not he has done that or is still en route to do that.
The battery rotated. Very good. Okay, that's it. Now, I can proceed without any rush. 2422.
And the indication now is that, in fact, Yurchikhin has not yet examined that final wall antenna cover. He is still scheduled to, but he was directed by the Russian flight control team to take care of this gap spanner installation task on the way. He'll be headed for the wall antenna after he finishes here.
You're so strict. Okay, 2422. Сергей Сергеевич.
Слушаю.
Go ahead.
Слушаю. Я на посту оператора.
I'm at the Australia's operator post.
Времени я двигаюсь тогда.
Since we're pressed for time,
Не на вал.
I am going to wall. No, not actually to SKK. And then I will go to MRM2. Okay, that's a good way to go.
Пока я дойду до
ИКК.
или там солнце с другой стороны.
My final destination is IKK. And by the time I will reach it, it will be an installation. But you have two spots in two different directions from the operator's post. One is SKK. And so what shall we do first? Shall we do a test first?
Закончится день, ты за 5 минут
And then the sunrise will be
делаешь тест, и потом пойдешь по
there.
и оттуда, может быть,
First you'll do the test and then go back to post.
ближе.
And maybe you won't even have to get very close. Serежа. Sorry. The second goes from the semicircular to...
Нет. Второй у тебя...
From the same or no. The second one goes on the other side of ORMD. Towards the SMF. Okay, copy.
Ты этот поставил, да, Федор?
You installed this one, right? Right.
Хорошо.
Remove the old one. And
We heard Alexander Mazurkin getting some direction from the mission control team at Koryolov about his translation path as he's moving toward the Poisk module to take some surface samples at the EV hatch, and probably will try to take photographs of the SKK, the exposure experiment, subsequent to that, with the hope that they will have moved into orbital daytime by the time that happens, which is not very far away. The station is now over the Pacific Ocean between Australia and New Zealand, and will cross the terminator into orbital daytime in perhaps 15 minutes or so. Meanwhile, Fyodor Yurchikhin is still at work at the port side. You can see the labeling there, EV hatch 2, so Mazurkin has reached that work site at the Poisk module and appears to be waving at the hatch inside, where Commander Pavel Vinogradov and flight engineer Chris Cassidy have been isolated throughout the spacewalk today in the Poisk module and the Soyuz spacecraft that is docked to the aft end of Poisk. We can see a camera floating inside the module at the window. The current lighting can't see who that is.
Okay, I understand, Sergey. First one, then the second. Sergey wanted to clarify. I'm looking at the window. And inaudible. there is contact with the metal ring, but it's not really like, it's a yellow metal, like bronze. Is this the one? Oh, we're supposed to wipe? No, the pain is better. Then I will need to wipe it in circular motions. And wipe paint. And what shall we use the first one for? For the big ring on the MLI. This white one? So it's not on the actual window. Yes, this one. Okay. Understood.
This is Fyodor Yurchikin's helmet camera. Yurchikin has been installing a pair of gap spanners on the port side of the module. Gap spanner is like a temporary handhold. It is meant to span the gap between two other handholds, handrails or some other instrument attached to the outside of a module. And it provides another handhold for a spacewalker moving along in that area in order to ease their translation in the future.
We lost the video. Guys, please keep commenting. Further. It's time to start wrapping it up and leave this work site. Inaudible. We'll rotate the solar array panel again. When you'll be ready to start translation back, well, let us know. Let's take a look. No, not now. Finish this activity, but when you'll be ready to go to EVA later, we will have to rotate the panel again. We are not about to touch it right now. I can reach EVA later by going the lower route. Exactly like the last time.
Хорошо.
Okay.
Но мы ее все равно сейчас будем вращать.
But we'll be rotating it anyway. If right now, then I can wait. Fyodor Nikolaevich, when you were doing tests last time, how did you unscrew those samplers? Okay. I understand what you're getting at.
Федор, ты поручень это поставил, да?
Федор, did you install that handrail between the S-shape? Yes, I've installed everything, removed the old one. I'm standing by for the solar array rotation. All right.
Мы завершим процедуру вращения вот этой четвертой батареи.
As soon as we'll stop rotating panel number 4, I will let you know that you can start. Okay, actually it's rotating. You can start translation slowly. All right, translating slowly. Great. Let's stop. Keeps rotating now. Just a little bit. Let it move a bit further.
Approaching 4 hours and 50 minutes into today's spacewalk for Fyodor Yurchikin and Alexander Mazurkin. 8th spacewalk for Yurchikin's career, the 3rd for Mazurkin's career, all of these 3 during the current flight. Mazurkin is, when we last saw his helmet camera view, was at the Poisk module at the EV hatch number 2. That was the location that he was headed in order to take surface samples for an experiment known as Test 1. gathering samples in that area for later examination on the ground, trying to determine whether or not there's bacterial growth on the outside of the station. There has been evidence of bacteria, of living things that are surviving on the outside of the International Space Station. Mazurkin is also intended to take some photographs of an exposure experiment that was installed on the outside of Poisk last Friday. And they're now still 5 minutes or so away from sunrise, which would help support that photography. This is Mazurkin's helmet camera, and that apparatus in his hand is the surface sampler for test 1. So he is doing that work as we speak. A truss camera view now, looking back to the forward end of Zvezda, shows us Fyodor Yurchikhin working at the EVA ladder. He has completed the installation of the gap spanners on the port side.
Sort of half position, and that's how you can unscrew that sensor.
On the port side of Zvezda.
I will have to tighten it later. That's what I was planning to do. Just wanted to make sure that I wanted.
It's unclear at this point if Yurchikhin has made it to examine the antenna cover at the wall antenna number 4, if he has got there yet or not.
And go to wall 4. Yes, wall 4.
And their mission control in Moscow giving him instruction to proceed to that location and have a look at that antenna cover.
In my case, when I was working with it, it broke immediately. Well, I believe that using circular handrails on top would be easier. 4th, drop out.
And this is a brief interruption in our television signal. We should be getting TV back from the station coming up in 3.5 minutes from now. And that should carry us through the remainder of today's spacewalk. The EVA was scheduled for a bit over 5.5 hours in total length. As it turns out, most of the tasks on the plan have been or will be conducted, although not in the order they were originally anticipated to be conducted. The spacewalkers did remove the laser communication system equipment.
We are not receiving TV image right now. Therefore, please comment on what you're doing. I'm at the circular handrail right now at PHO. Copy. The old tethers are here. Copy. There are 2 metal structure pieces. One is the shell, and the other one is proximity to the window. Well, we are interested in the ring that is close to MLI cover. Copy. So once you touch it and rub it, then we see some traces and they dry off, but you still can see the traces there. The elements, okay. Can you please rub it a bit more? And then take the first sample down and then take the other one out. All right. So number 4 with a cap. Well, number 4 So one screw is undone completely. The other one is partially. The other two are in place. So their state is good, more or less. So we'll start working on a copy.
From Alexander Mazurkin's helmet camera, we can see that not only has the station moved back into orbital daylight, we can see that he's still at work at the EV2 hatch at Poisk, taking the surface samples. Here's Fyodor Yurchikin's helmet camera view. And he appears to be at the location of another of the wall antennas, presumably number 4. That was where he was headed last. You can see that antenna with the cover just above his right hand in that helmet camera view. In this long view, you can see Yurchikin himself down in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. At the forward end of Zvezda, he's translated around to that location on the top side of Zvezda as he inspects that antenna cover. Mazurkin is above the at the Poisk module, which is attached to the top side of the service module's transfer compartment. So he's looking down now at the service module, the forward section of it, and beyond to the South Pacific Ocean.
Sasha, please.
Correction, what he's looking down at is the aft end of the Zarya module, which is forward of the Zvezda module. He is still next to Poisk, but this camera view is looking more or less forward along the space station, along the Zarya module, toward the U.S. segment. That's still the Pacific Ocean.
Okay, now I can see you, so you should move this way. Yes, I understand. I'm trying to secure myself so I can start driving. Maybe I should place my feet somewhere so I'm not moving. Let me look.
This view is from a camera on the starboard side of the station's truss. Looking aft, we see Fyodor Yurchikin, who is working at the wall antenna. It's located there at what is, in fact, near the top of the Zvezda module. This is Yurchikin's helmet camera view, and that is a wall antenna cover in the upper right-hand corner that just moved out of our frame.
Well, it all depends on the size of the hand. Well, just try it one way or the other.
Yurchikin looks like he's trying to get himself in a stable position in order to try to tighten down the screws on that antenna cover, as he did on wall antenna number 5 in the same general area earlier, and which Alexander Mazurkin did on 3 antenna covers at the aft end of the Zvezda module earlier.
To let your arms rest for 3 minutes. How would you like that? Well, My hands are okay. I just need to find the right position for my body so I can secure myself. Okay. How do you feel? We feel great. Maybe just a bit cooler air. All right. What about the time limit? Well, maybe I can let myself rest for a couple of minutes. Yes, please rest. Why are we limited by time so much? Well, we have some managers above us who determine what is best. Okay. Do you have a mirror on this side? Maybe you can just point it this way. All right. Well, Sergey, the worst about these screws is that when you do half a rotation, you think you're tightening it up and then it loosens up again. Okay, further. Maybe we should tighten up the wood two screws and then we'll just stop there. Well, half a rotation. If somebody would hold me by my feet, that'll be fantastic. Maybe I should call somebody to join me here. What do you think? Well, we need to call those guys who loosen those screws up. Ask them now to come back and hold your feet. Well, it's a bit of a challenge. Understand? Yes, I understand. I think number 2 is moving on the glass. Yes. And then on the periphery, just using the handrails. Because God forbid we leave any places on the window. And then if we do make it dirty, then we will not see Pavel. Pavel Vladimirovich will be obscured then. Huh? Right, well, this is his native module, is what we call it. Of course.
Fyodor Yurchikhin still working to tighten down that antenna cover, while Alexander Mazurkin is up on the Poisk module. He's taken some samples from the exterior of the hatch there.
Yeah, where the window
and has also been
outside.
barely making jokes at the expense of his commander, Pavel Vinogradov, who is inside that module, along with flight engineer Chris Cassidy. Those two have been isolated inside Poisk and the Soyuz module that is attached to it since about 4:30 Houston time this morning. The other two crew members, Luca Parmitano and Karen Nyberg, have been isolated, if you will, to the entire U.S. section of the space station, plus the Zarya and Rosviet modules and their Soyuz spacecraft, while Yurchikhin and Mazurkin have been outside and in and out of the Pirs docking compartment.
How much do you need to rotate it? Well, this is the first one. That's the longest. All right. The worst is just to hold it.
From Mazurkin's helmet camera view, you can see as he's
rotation. So once I'm able,
where he is, he's looking aft, and just beyond that solar array on the left-hand side, you can see the new hardware that was installed today. The that just moved out of our view. That is the EBA workstation and biaxial pointing platform. Now just coming back into the view. Beyond them are the solar arrays of the automated transfer vehicle, reminiscent of an X-wing. The EV hatch here on the Poisk module is a reminder that the Pirs docking compartment is not long for this space station. It's been the site of every Russian spacewalk conducted since it arrived at this space station more than 10 years ago. But it is going to be, the plan is for it to be unattached from the space station and disposed of, to be deorbited, in order to open up the docking port for the new Russian multi-purpose laboratory module. It'll go in its place at the on the nadir side of Zvezda. And once it is gone, the Poisk module will become the airlock for Russian spacewalks on the space station in the future.
They're just making fun of us because it's on the opposite side. That's unbelievable. Okay, once again, let's make another attempt. Well, as they say, quoting a famous saying, that we are shivering with excitement. Okay, go ahead.
And a good view there as Mazurkin is using that test kit to take a surface sample at the hatch around that the window in that EV in that spacewalk port.
Further. He has cleaned all the windows for us now. This is great. Well, he told us already how he was assisting us from this side. Right, well, I think the windows are clean. We should wrap it up. What do you think? Okay, the second one has been worked on, so I think we have one more left. Understand? Okay. Can you see us, Sergey? Yes.
And Mazurkin, you can see the apparatus that he used to take the surface sample back inserted into that test kit, and he's now tightening it up so that if there are any bacteriological organisms in that sample, they'll stay inside that sample kit, which will be returned to Earth for study later. This stable view, as you look in the upper left-hand portion of the screen, you can see beyond the solar array the new EVA workstation and biaxial pointing platform. Beyond that, the large antenna dish on the aft end of the Zvezda module, and beyond that, the 2 of the 4 solar array wings on the automated transfer vehicle.
Who was troubling me with these crew drivers? Right. I was wrong. My fault.
Fyodor Yurchikin still working on tightening the screws on the antenna cover on the wall antenna number 4. He's working on the forward end of the Zvezda module near the top of the of Zvezda, not far away from where Mazurkin is. The 2 of them working on separate tasks, although in fact now here you can see from Mazurkin's helmet camera, you can see Fyodor Yurchikin at his current work site, the forward starboard side of Zvezda near the top. When the 2 crew members are finished with their current tasks at their current locations, they'll be heading back toward Pirs to wrap up the spacewalk. We expect that they'll be. They still need to They'll be bringing inside the laser communication system hardware that they removed from Zvezda early in this spacewalk, and then getting themselves inside the airlock to wrap up as well.
Саня, он такой, как тот, живой.
Sasha,
Ага.
are you still alive?
Слушай, я его
Yes, and the screw is alive.
сколько... Сергей Сергеевич, можешь мне
Sergey,
здесь подойти попробовать?
maybe I should try it from this side and maybe hold it.
Федор.
Fyodor. Yes,
Все, хорош.
go ahead. That's it. That was another attempt.
Побежать не дадут.
Мы уходим по времени.
It's time for you to leave. We have a time constraint. You need to go.
Сереж, правильно, хорошо
Sergey,
сделал. Просто замечательно.
that was really great.
Так, сейчас я дойду
Let me translate
до третьего, который вас больше
the
всех
third one that was of greatest interest to you.
Про какой имеешь в виду?
Which one?
Что ли?
Are you referring to Oval 6?
у которых без шапочки.
Ну и не надо туда ходить.
No, you do not need to go there.
На выходное устройство, Федор.
No, let's
Не
go.
надо.
Oh, you said we do not need to go there.
Тогда я...
No, do not go.
Все, еще...
Okay, well, let me make another attempt. And then we'll be able to go.
Федор,
Further,
еще 2 минуты здесь.
you have
будем.
2 minutes at this location and then you need to go. Copy 2 minutes. Yes, 2 minutes. I understand.
Что тут есть тебе? Это короче.
All right.
Как в этом сказано? Еще такого не было,
I haven't
чтобы твоя
seen that,
против моей была.
so it'll be
Серег,
Я понял.
from your side. Sergey, did you understand that?
чтобы твоя против моей.
That was never my opinion against yours before. All right.
Жизнь оставит на таких вот.
Yeah, these screws are just
Ну
a
что,
bit
Серег,
difficult.
я с палочку вытаскиваю.
Okay, Sergey, shall I take the magic wand out?
Палочку волшебную, да.
The magic wand?
Да.
Yes, it looks like you need to take it out. Therefore, you need to go
Все, я
to the
запустил все три.
inside. All right, I have tightened up all 3 screws. Thank you very much for that.
Самому
Thank you. Well, that was
Ну да.
kind of a personal challenge for me. Okay, maybe we should take a photo now of the wires and cables and stuff. Yes, SKK. Well, just take photos right now of SKK and then go. We'll work with the cables later. You probably will not see those very well.
Провода.
Will not see what? The wires. Well, I will see them.
На балке стрелец фиксировать это.
It's just I will not be able to secure myself because those are not handrails. Okay, let's not do it.
Я могу
I can try,
через
but I'm not sure what will be the outcome.
И на этом заказ.
Sasha, SKK, and that's it. No more. Okay.
Fyodor Yurchikhin is wrapped up his work tightening up that antenna cover at the wall antenna number 4 and is making his way back to the Piers docking compartment EVA ladder. That's that metallic covered colored thing that is right there in the center of our view, attached to the Piers docking compartment near the top. And this is Yurchikhin's helmet camera view.
All right, that's the...
At another of the wall antennas with its cover, he's pulling himself into view there. Alexander Mazurkin is translating around on the Poisk module. He's finished up taking the surface samples at the EVA hatch and is setting up now to photo document
that you are in
this experiment cassette, known by the Russian acronym SKK.
Okay.
This was installed at this location during the spacewalk just 6 days ago.
Yes. The soft tether, I'm holding on to the soft tether and holding on to everything else. So everything is in place. Tethers and everything else. Okay, what I'm going to do is maybe just throw the tethers inside. Yes, go ahead and do that. Therefore, the magic wand is seen really well from this angle, but you'll just need to rotate 180 degrees later. Well, I'll wait for Sasha. Okay, sounds good. Sasha, please take photos and then translate closer to further. Will do. Are we going to Anchor site, or are we going? Well, we can see the Anchor site completely. So that's a very good image we're getting, and that's not from your helmet camera, but from the station camera. So we like this view. Just stay.
Mazurkin is taking photographs of the Russian exposure experiment, SKK, which is similar to exposure experiments on the U.S. segment of the station, in which items that are intended to be used for spacecraft construction in the future are exposed to that environment for an extended period of time. Later, this experiment cassette will be retrieved by a spacewalking cosmonaut, fold it up, bring it back inside. It'll be returned to Earth so that the samples can be examined by specialists to determine just how well they held up being in this environment for an extended period of time. Our perspective on this is off of alignment by about 90 degrees. The up direction is really to the left, and the black colored module on the left side of Poisk is in fact the forward section, the orbital section of the Soyuz spacecraft. Soyuz number 34, that's the spacecraft that brought Pavel Vinogradov, Chris Cassidy, and Alexander Mazurkin to the station back in March, and which will bring them back to Earth with a landing in Kazakhstan in just 3 weeks.
I'm at the operator's post. Yes, Sasha, we can see that. Okay. Then I'll be quiet further, and we can see you as well.
Значит, ракурс идет, чтобы ты понимал, да? Вот так ты сейчас находишься.
I wanted you to understand that the way you are, the position you're in, you just need to turn around with your back. So to just have a complete turn, yes. Just move, turn around like this. All right, we can see you very well right now. That's good. Can you still see me? Yes, I can see you very well right now. Yes, secure it in this location, and that will be excellent. Full Zulu looking for a handrail.
Fyodor Yurchikhin is working just outside the hatch of the Piers docking compartment. His helmet camera view has got what appears to be a Russian flag rolled up there in his left hand. And beyond that, looking right into the open hatch of the Piers module.
All right, excellent.
Alexander Mizurkin continuing his translation from the Poisk module. There he is near the operator post of the Strela cargo crane, Strela number 1. His view is toward the aft of the station. He's finished taking photographs of the exposure experiment, the SKK. Also took the surface samples at the EV hatch on Poisk. And should be making his way back down toward the Piers docking compartment.
Федор?
Вот знаешь, надо бы как ноги
You know what should we do? Lower your legs, but raise your head relative to the EVA ladder. That's exactly how I'm doing. What about now?
Так хорошо.
Very good.
Так хорошо.
As we mentioned a moment ago, Fyodor Yurchikhin there outside the Piers docking compartment. He has a Russian flag there in his hand, furled up. The reason for that is that today is Russian Flag Day. It is the day that commemorates the raising of the present Russian Day flag over the Russian Supreme Soviet building after the failed coup of 1991.
Oh, you're talking about pictures.
The Russian flag brought outside today during the spacewalk as a special gesture for Russian Flag Day.
Before that, last time I had a chance to take photos when I was doing EVA in the MU. What now? Well, now I have the magic wand in my hand. And I'm in the proper position, but I'm not sure which way to look. I don't see any cameras in front of me.
На ферме где-то стоит. Она не
It's somewhere on the front. It's not immediately in front of you.
Вот где, если бы ты смотрел в верхний иллюминатор, ты бы смотрел практически
Let's say if you were looking through the top.
And from Alexander Mizurkin's helmet camera, we see him translating along the Strela cargo crane. The operator's post is attached at the the Poisk module. He's translating, in essence, down along that retracted cargo crane headed back toward Piers, and that's the Piers module just in front of his face.
A little bit more would be okay. Like this. Like this?
Нет, так ты уже спиной нам обернулся.
No. Now we see the back. Okay.
Перед этим был нормальный ракурс.
Right before that we had a great view.
Ну все, этот ракурс я повторю. Я тебе другой хотел показать.
I can repeat that to you, but I wanted to show you something different.
Саша, наконец, самый конец его.
Вот так вот.
For the close out. Yes, like this.
Сейчас мы тебя видим.
We can see you now. We see your left arm, just for you to understand.
То есть нам надо...
Okay, so we need to go up a bit.
Чуть-чуть ноги опустить, да?
Lower your legs just a little bit. And in this position, we see your window.
From that helmet camera view from Fyodor Yurchikin's helmet, you get a view inside the Piers docking compartment, and there, sure enough, is the hardware that was removed from the Zvezda module early on in today's spacewalk. The BTLS, with its protective cover in place, was taken off of the universal work platform on the starboard side of Zvezda early today. That hardware now safely back inside Piers and tethered to keep it from floating away. It's ultimately going to be disposed of on some cargo vehicle that departs the space station. And spacewalkers successfully installed in its place a new EVA workstation and biaxial pointing platform. That's now installed, and Russian Mission Control reports getting good telemetry from it. It will be home to, among other things, a couple of cameras for an optical telescope system. Those cameras are due to be delivered to the station on the next Progress vehicle, due in November, and installed out on that new hardware on a Russian spacewalk that's targeted in December.
Причем ты практически по центру кадра.
And you're actually in the middle of the frame. Now let me move aside, and Sasha can fit into like this.
Вот он уже подходит к тебе.
Sasha is approaching you already.
Это все, конечно,
this is all great, but in order to get there, I need to...
And now we can see that Alexander Mizurkin has joined Fyodor Yurchikin outside the hatch, the Piers docking compartment.
Here, can you translate?
All of the published tasks for today's spacewalk completed, with the exception of the relocation of a foot restraint. All of the
Саш, ты туда на торец попытайся перейти, да?
Try to go to the end case of the EVA ladder. Okay.
Хорошо.
Yurchikin and Mizurkin removed that laser communication system hardware, and after a false start, installed the new EVA workstation in its place.
So it looks like Fedor Nikolaevich.
It was found that the base plate on that hardware was installed out of alignment with the rest of the hardware, but later reasoned that the misalignment could be corrected through a manipulation of the biaxial pointing platform. that'll be taken care of at a subsequent time. So Yurchikhin and Mazurkin were sent back out and did successfully install that new hardware in its proper place.
I like this.
They also conducted the inspection of the wall system antennae, found several covers loose and tightened the screws on those that were loose.
Here.
Mazurkin took surface samples at the EV hatch on the Poisk module and photo documented the SKK experiment that was installed there last week. Yurchikhin installed some gap spanners on the port side of the Zvezda module. The two are now back at the Pirs docking compartment hatch, and Yurchikhin is holding a Russian flag. Today, as it turns out, today's spacewalk is being conducted on Russian Flag Day. That is a special day in Russia that commemorates the raising of the Russian flag over the Russian Supreme Soviet building after the failed coup in Russia in 1991.
Parallel to him. Okay. I'll be holding it like this. And you see here on the EV leather between those two. Okay, push your boots down there. Okay, look here.
Саш, можете вообще на торец уйти в ИУ и там закрепиться.
Sasha, maybe you should go to the end face of the EV leather and tether
твою спину.
on it.
А время уходит.
We're losing time. Would you like to straddle it? Okay, that's great. No, that's just absolutely great. Shall we remove it now? We need to wait for the mark. You can remove it from this side.
Ну все, можно начинать.
Okay, guys, you can start.
Давайте еще раз
Okay.
внимательно и начали.
Careful and start.
Федор, а слова будете какие-нибудь произносить?
Further, are you planning to give some kind of a speech? Yes. Wonderful day. Okay. The people might think that this is just a performance. That this was actually staged somewhere in the Moscow suburbs. No, guys. This is the space as real as it comes. And now we can see the flag of our motherland. Congratulations to everyone on this day of Russian flag. Please remember it, value it, and respect it. Then we'll be respecting ourselves and be respected by others. You know? And every time a cosmonaut gives a speech, there will be a triple hurrah. 2 short and 1 long. Here it goes.
Федор, можно еще
Further?
сделать движение, чтобы...
Please give us some emotion.
Флагом помахайте.
Just wave the flag. Again, the spectators will be thinking that this is just the ground wind causing it. Like this is a montage. Well, so be it. Because when you're working in the open space, there is always something being compiled later on. Okay, now give it to Sasha. Let him work a little bit. Sasha, hold it. You see there is a rubber ring on, it can be put on the finger. Do you guys see it? Yes, we see it clearly. You're in the middle of the frame. And there is Pierce on the background. And the wording Pierce. Okay, that's what inertia does. See? It's a strong wind down here. Okay, try to unwind. We asked you not to create such a strong wing, but they didn't listen. Okay, great. Congratulations, our dear country. Congratulations, dear Russian compatriots. Okay. Okay, guys, that's it. You can fold the flag. Let's get ready to ingress DC-1. Maybe you'll go in first and I will hand it to you, okay? Unintelligible. Unintelligible. Shall we wait? Yes, let's wait.
With their special flag ceremony complete, Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin are now starting to get themselves ready to move back inside the Pirs docking compartment and wrap up today's spacewalk, which is now 5 hours, 38 minutes in length and counting. Spacewalk started at 6:34 Houston time this morning with the opening of the hatch of the Pirs docking compartment. That was just seconds before 6:35. And it will be the closing of the hatch will officially mark the end of the spacewalk when we get those numbers, and we will give you all of the relevant statistics on EVA durations.
Inaudible. Say it again.
All but one of the tasks on today's spacewalk were completed, albeit not in the sequence in which they were originally intended.
Okay, copy.
Yurchikhin and Mazurkin did remove the laser communication system hardware from the work platform on the starboard side of Zvezda, and did ultimately install the EVA workstation and biaxial pointing platform in its place, although it was discovered that the base element of that EVA workstation was installed 90 degrees out of alignment in the yaw axis. And while at first Russian mission managers instructed the crew members to bring the hardware back inside, it was later determined that the error in alignment could be corrected through manipulation of the biaxial pointing platform. And so they were sent back to retrieve the EVA workstation, and did in fact install it in its intended spot on the starboard side of the Zvezda. Later, it will be automatically, the motorized the motor that will manipulate the yaw axis will be maneuvered so that the platform will be in the proper orientation for 2 cameras that are part of an optical telescope system scheduled to be installed during a spacewalk in November.
Copy.
The crew members did inspect all of the wall system antenna covers at the aft end of the Zvezda module. They found one of them quite loose, the others partially loose, and tightened down screws on all of them. They also inspected the 2 antenna covers that were still in place on wall antennas on the front end of the Zvezda module and tightened them as well. The antenna cover on the 6th wall antenna is the one that worked its way free of the station and was discovered floating free this past Monday, which led to the need for the inspection of the other antenna covers today. The crew members installed 2 gap spanners on the port side of the Zvezda module in order to facilitate easier translation for spacewalkers in the future. They took photo documentation of an exposure experiment on the Poisk module that had been installed in that spot last Friday, and took surface samples of the EV hatch on the Poisk module for a later study to check for the presence of any biological samples there. And with all that done, the 2 Russian crew members moved to the hatch of the Russian docking compartment, the Russian segment of the station, and unfurled a Russian flag in commemoration of Russian Flag Day, which is today, a day that commemorates the raising of the Russian flag over the Russian Supreme Soviet building after the failed coup of 1991. All of that taken place in about 5.5 hours. Fyodor Yurchikhin is moving back into the airlock along with Alexander Mazurkin. And now just minutes away from closing the hatch, which will officially mark the end of the spacewalk, and repressurizing the Piers compartment so that they can then rejoin their crewmates on board. Commander Pavel Vinogradov and Flight Engineer Chris Cassidy have been isolated inside the Poisk module and the Soyuz attached to it. Flight engineers Luca Parmitano and Karen Nyberg have had the run of the U.S. segment of the station, as well as the Zarya module, the Rassvet module, and the Soyuz that is attached to it. All of the crew members will be getting back together again inside here in short order. For the 3 Russian crew members and Cassidy, there is a short meal period scheduled about an hour and a half from now, since none of them have had much opportunity to eat. And all of the crew members are scheduled to be going to sleep about 5:30 Houston time this afternoon.
That's it? Do I need to wait? No? Okay, then I'm turning mine off. Inaudible. My sublimator is off. KTO drawing started for both copies. So both sublimators are off. Okay. Give me the flag. Do you see it? Yes. Inaudible. Are you going there? Yes. Check that. Inaudible. Yes, I will check. Maybe I should, well, let me put it behind the hedge. Okay. Okay, that's it. Sasha, can you unhook it? Stand by, because otherwise I won't fit here. Okay. Okay, it's unhooked. Okay.
And the International Space Station now moving into another orbital nighttime pass over Western Asia.
Inaudible.
Waiting for
we don't need the other one.
Alexander Mazurkin to get inside the Pirs docking compartment. Fyodor Yurchikhin there already, along with the laser communication system hardware that the two removed from the outside of the Zvezda module earlier today. From inside the Pirs docking compartment, we don't have a good line of sight for their wireless video system, so that may be the end, along with the fact that the station is really moved outside of the range of television from tracking and data relay satellite system now. So we'll be listening for the crew members to get inside and close the hatch and officially conclude today's spacewalk.
I understand. Garrett, MCC Moscow, G2, Pavel, how do you copy? Inaudible. Unintelligible. Inaudible. I did not understand you. Why did you do that? I was just trying to take a stroll. Okay. Garrett, MCC Moscow, net G2. Is 1 carat enough? Absolutely. How do you copy as well? Garrett?
Павел Владимирович, как меня слышно?
Павел Владимирович, how copy in SG2? Anton, we have pretty bad speaker in MRM2. You almost cannot hear it. Copy. Thank you. Sure.
Антон, они на улицу вдвоем тряпкой всю протирают снаружи.
Two of them outside. Wiping the surfaces. Okay. Copy.
Spacewalkers Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin getting themselves back inside the station's Pirs docking compartment to conclude today's spacewalk. We're standing by monitoring their conversation with the Russian Mission Control Center, Koryolov, waiting to hear that the hatch is closed.
2 more minutes.
And that the repressurization of the airlock has begun.
Unintelligible.
Карат ЦУПу Москвы в канале.
Carrots, MCC Moscow and SG2.
Павел Владимирович, как меня слышно?
Павел Владимирович, how copy?
Павел Владимирович, как меня слышно?
Normal. Oh, well, and I still have 15 seconds left.
Есть, пушка то норма.
Okay. They'll start norm. Okay. I'm coming in. You're most welcome.
Ребят.
Guys?
Ребят.
Yes?
Можно приступать к закрытию люка.
You are go to start closing hatch. Drying is norm for both? All right. Hatch close. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let him get in first.
Давайте снимаем кольцо.
Okay, remove the ring.
Поверхности.
Check the interface and surfaces.
Сейчас.
Hold on.
Саш, и чисти. Я не чистю. Да нет, это я. Извини, перепутал.
No, that was for him. Okay. Okay, I'm right here. That's my protective ring. Stand by. Let me get out this lock. Okay, I removed it. Is that it? Yes. The ring is removed.
Принято.
Copy.
Саш, давай внимательно посмотри на
Sasha,
поверхность.
take a look at the surfaces, yes.
Хорошо, смотри.
Okay. I'm looking at it.
Не торопясь, чтобы все четко было, потому что
No rush.
у нас не скоро будет открыто.
Be careful because it will be quite some time before we'll open the next time.
А вы отстегнули уже фал? Фал еще нет?
Did you release the tether? Not yet.
Фал. Все. Посмотри внимательно.
Okay. Take a good look.
Fyodor Yurchik and Alexander Mazurkin are now both inside the Piers docking compartment.
Okay, Sasha, did you have a chance to take a look?
And we're standing by for word that they have closed the hatch, which is the official end of the spacewalk,
Camera's off now.
and then word that the module repressurization has begun.
Сейчас. Я руку закрою и тогда выключим.
Yes, all the locks are in place.
Правильно, барашка открыл.
Okay, the wing nut is released, closing.
Наблюдает.
I see the rowers are moving. They're engaged. Okay, copy.
Нет. Все. Все нет. Так далее. Вот, закрыто. Еще раз.
Okay, I'll try again. Okay, I'll get it.
Ролики все.
Rowers are in place. Everything is good.
Люк закрыт.
Hatch is closed. Copy.
5:58.
5:58. 5:58.
Ребят, все, я
Guys,
прощаюсь до субботы.
I am going to say goodbye to you until Saturday. Thank you very much for your work.
Серьезно, спасибо.
Sergey, thank you.
Спасибо, извини за...
Thank you very much.
Ну все, до субботы.
Okay, I will talk to you on Saturday.
Ну все, до субботы.
До субботы.
Okay, talk to you Saturday.
Так, я разворачиваюсь.
Okay, hold on.
Федор Николаевич, это Дмитрий.
Fyodor Nikolaevich, this is Dmitry speaking.
The hatch of the Piers docking compartment closed at 12:32 Houston time this afternoon,
Start.
just seconds shy of 12:33. For a total spacewalk time today of 5 hours and 58 minutes. We'll have all of the EVA running totals for you momentarily.
I am ready.
Standing by now as the Russian Mission Control Team will begin to send the commands to repressurize the Piers docking compartment.
You can give a go to open КВД ПХОС. Copy.
Есть команда разрешения, есть открытие КВД.
Okay, we have the command placement. We have КВД ПХОС open. I see the pressure increasing.
Запустил часы,
I started the clock
но не позже.
no later than 6 minutes.
30 миллиметров.
30 millimeters.
Принято давление скафандра.
Copy. Pressure in spacesuit.
Принято давление скафандра.
0,30.
032.
Принято.
Copy.
And the telemetry indicating that the cabin pressure inside the Piers docking compartment is now slowly rising.
Принято.
The hatch at Piers opened at 6:34 Houston time this morning for the official start time of the spacewalk. The hatch closed at 12:32 p.m. Houston time for a total spacewalk time today of 5 hours and 58 minutes.
We passed 110 millimeters. Copy.
The pressure in the Piers docking compartment will be brought back up to a partial level, and then will be held there to stabilize and make sure that everything is moving properly. Conduct a leak check there. The Orlan suits will be pressurized slightly.
This is my favorite.
And then repressurization of the Piers back to its full pressurization will resume. And once they reach that point, Yurchikin and Zirkin will be able to exit their spacesuits as a final leak check for the module itself is conducted before opening the hatches and being able to get back into the rest of the station and join their crewmates.
014 in spacesuit, the same for me. Copy. Minute 30 seconds. We have passed 200 millimeters. Everything is fine. Kvadepaho is too close. Okay, that is correct. 01 in spacesuit. 320 millimeters. Copy. 007 inside the spacesuit. 235 millimeter mark. Copy.
millimeters.
250 millimeters. 004 in the spacesuit. Copy.
Прошло 350.
260 mark. Copy.
Repressurization of the Piers airlock is continuing now at the stabilization point. In the meantime, we have some EVA statistics for those who are interested. Today's spacewalk, the 173rd spacewalk conducted for International Space Station assembly and maintenance, began at 6:34 Houston time this morning and concluded at 12:32 Houston time this afternoon for a total spacewalk time today of 5 hours and 58 minutes. All of the 173 spacewalks combined total 1,088 hours and 49 minutes, or the equivalent of about 45 and a half days worth of spacewalk time. There are 5, it is the 5th of 5 spacewalks today to be conducted during Expedition 36. 3 of those Russian spacewalks out of the Pirs docking compartment, 2 of them out of the Quest airlock, for a total Expedition 36 spacewalk time of 27 hours and 40 minutes, 40 minutes. Today was the 3rd spacewalk of Alexander Mazurkin's career, the 3 Expedition 36 spacewalks out of Pirs, giving him a total time of 20 hours and 1 minute, the spacewalk experience. For Fyodor Yurchikhin, it is his 8th spacewalk, and it moves him up to number 5 all time in the cumulative EVA list. Yurchikhin's total EVA time now stands at 51 hours and 53 minutes, 51:53. That moves him past NASA astronaut Sonny Williams into number 5 on the all-time list, trailing his Russian colleague Anatoly Soloviev and American astronauts Mike Lopez Alegria, Jerry Ross, and John Grunsfeld. Yurchikhin and Mazurkin completed their spacewalk in just under 6 hours today, and they completed all of the planned tasks except for one. That was the planned relocation of a foot restraint from one location on the Zvezda module onto a new piece of hardware that was installed. But the laser communications hardware that was removed from the workstation on the starboard side of Zvezda and has been brought back inside. In its place has been installed a new EVA workstation that has attached to it a biaxial pointing platform that will become the home of a couple of cameras for an optical telescope system. The components, the cameras for that system, are to be delivered to the space station on the next Progress vehicle in November and installed on a Russian spacewalk in December. They completed that task. They also inspected the wall system antenna and tightened up the covers on those antennae, both at the aft end of the station as well as in the front end of the Zvezda module. That after the discovery of one of those antennas floating free of the station this past Monday. This is the video of that antenna, the antenna cover, rather, not the antenna itself, but the cover that was discovered floating below the station on Monday. The remaining antenna covers were all found to be loose to varying degrees and were tightened up. The crew members also installed 2 gap spanners on the port side of Zvezda to make translating in that area in the future a bit simpler. And they photo documented an exposure experiment located on the Poisk module, a piece of hardware that was installed by Yurchikhin and Mazurkin last Friday.
Okay, you got it.
As well as they
Maybe 1, maybe 2.
took surface samples of the spacewalk hatch on the Poisk module, from which spacewalks will be happening in the future. That was completed, and then finally back at the Pirs airlock hatch on Russian Flag Day, Yurchikhin and Mazurkin unfurled a Russian flag in commemoration of this Russian holiday, which itself commemorates the raising of the Russian flag over the Russian Supreme Soviet building after the failed coup of 1991.
Sea pressure 200.
2 spacewalkers then moved back inside the Pirs airlock along with the laser communication system hardware that they had removed several hours earlier. And the hatch to Pirs was closed at 12:32 Houston time this afternoon, leaving a spacewalk of 5 hours and 58 minutes in duration. Fyodor Yurchikhin has now had 8 spacewalks in his career for a total of 51 hours and 53 minutes, He has more total spacewalk time in his career than all but 4 other people. Mazurkin's spacewalk experience now 20 hours and 1 minute for the 3 spacewalks conducted on Expedition 36. There were 2 other American spacewalks conducted on Expedition 36. The 5 EVAs have a total duration time of 27 hours and 40 minutes for spacewalks during Expedition 36. Today's was the 173rd spacewalk all time to build and maintain the International Space Station, for a total spacewalk duration now of 1,088 hours and 49 minutes.
Electrical umbilicals are connected. Copy. I assume both of you have electrical umbilicals connected. Yes, both have electrical umbilicals connected. Have power. Good.
Yurchikhin and Mazurkin are inside the Piers airlock. They'll be a leak check is currently underway as the module has been partially repressurized. Full pressurization on that will resume here in just a couple of minutes, and they should be out of their suits and out of the Piers docking compartment in about another 20 minutes time. They'll be able to rejoin their 4 crewmates. Pavel Vinogradov and Chris Cassidy spent the spacewalk day located inside the Poisk module and the its attached Soyuz spacecraft, so they'll be eager to get a little leg room, so to speak. All of them joining Luca Parmitano and Karen Nyberg, who have been working in the U.S. segment of the space station plus the Zarya module throughout the day today. All of the crew members are scheduled to go to sleep at 5:30 Houston time this afternoon, and they have an extra hour's sleep on their schedule before their wake-up call tomorrow morning, on Friday morning, at which point they have a regular duty day on their schedule. The Russian crew members will be busy with post-spacewalk operations with the Orlan suits. Nyberg will be doing some more in-space experiment runs, and all of the crew members will be doing some maintenance in the U.S. segment of the space station, all looking ahead to a regular International Space Station weekend schedule of house cleaning and exercise and more off-duty time. Our next space station mission update will come up tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Houston time for a regular daily space station live look at the activities on orbit for the crew of International Space Station Expedition 36. This is Mission Control, Houston.